Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about the topic of suicide. Very controversial to say the least. There has been a lot of talk of the most recent and for some odd reason most popular suicide case, and that is Amanda Todd. And because of this, a lot of people who have experienced other deaths in their family, cancer or murder, or, anything else, just, any other cause there is for death, car crashes, whatever. It's hurt a lot of people that this one girl who, made a lot of mistakes in her life is getting so much love for committing a seemingly selfish act, when someone else who somebody loves has died without any reason. And so that's where a lot of the hate comes from. When somebody feels that someone else is getting more attention than they deserve. I'll admit, when I first started looking into the whole thing with Amanda Todd, I watched her video that she made and I related to it to a certain extent. Just the overall emotion she was feeling. I've never done any of the things that she did in her video, or that she talked about in her video, but I still related to an extent. And I was so mad at the people that made comments and hating about her. I was so mad. And I didn't even know why I was mad. I thought I was being villainized by the internet. And how crazy is that what somebody says on the internet can affect us that much? What somebody tells you or says to somebody else anonymously and cowardly on the internet doesn't mean anything. It shouldn't hurt you. And they were directing this to her. Specifically, that's what I saw. They weren't directing it to people who were suicidal in general, they were directing it to her. Why was I offended? That's so ridiculous. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who got offended by these jokes about her. If you look up on the internet right now, go to Google Images, you can type in Amanda Todd, and there's gonna be so many hate pictures that show up. And why wouldn't there be? Because so many people think she was overexposed and got so much more attention than she did, and she did. She got so much attention that she honestly didn't deserve. There are so many suicides every single year in every country. In America alone, suicide is one of the leading causes of death. And I haven't done my research, so I'm not saying it's like the number one, but I'm saying it's up there. And that's sad. That people feel that bad about themselves that they're going to take their own lives. And it's dumb, honestly. I mean, in a way, I'm kind of offending myself by saying this because I am suicidal and have attempted to commit suicide in the past, but looking back now, thinking to myself, I could be dead right now. Like, I could honestly be dead. And having lived more since then, I have gone through more troubles. I have lost more friends, and I have gained more friends as well. What I didn't understand when I was going through that was that things have to get worse before they get better. And if things get better before you suffer anything worse, trust me, it's something bad. It's gonna happen before it's just flowers and glitter. Because the world's not like that. But I still think to myself, why was I so offended by all this? Getting back to the main topic, why was I so offended that somebody else simply didn't understand suicide or self-harm. Why was I so offended that somebody didn't understand it? Was it because they didn't understand it and they hated it? The human brain simply refuses to like or appreciate something we don't understand. Often things that we don't understand, just by human nature, we will hate them. So if I didn't understand the point in having a religion, I would probably hate somebody that was religious. You know, I have friends that are atheists and I have friends that are Christians. The common thing that I have with both of them, being agnostic, is that I see the point in having a religion, because it's nice to know that somebody somewhere is there for you. And I see the point in being atheist, because you want to be open-minded and you want to listen to all these conspiracy theories, and that's just it, all these different theories. It's pointless because the internet is a thing, and America spends, not even just America, the whole world spends so much time on the internet that, you know, if something's a meme or something's trending or something is funny, you're gonna know about it. You know, just it's dumb celebrity news or horrifying news about the conflicts going on in Turkey right now and all throughout Middle East Asia. All these different conflicts in, these different countries. I can't help but constantly think back to what's going on in Israel and the Gaza Strip, because I read a very, very powerful book about this exact conflict and studied it just last year. And it's like, I think that all these other people are going through so many bad things. There's war in their country. Think that they could walk outside and not ever come back home because they're being blown up by a suicide bomber? That it's just a terrorist attack? Just think that every single day. That's what people, I feel like, don't realize when they're suicidal. That's what people that aren't suicidal see, though. They see that your life isn't that bad compared to somebody else's. When you've never walked in that person's shoes, but at the same time, when you feel that bad, you're not gonna take time to think about all the other worse people. And if you do, you're gonna think worse about yourself for thinking that you're worse than those other people. And it's ridiculous and unnecessary. And I feel like everyone who is suicidal, if they would just take a step back, put down the pills, put down the gun, put down the rope, just take a step back and ask yourself, why am I doing this? If your answer is, I'm ugly, I have no friends, I'm pathetic, I ask for too much, constant millions of other self-criticisms, did you think these things about yourself when you were 8 years old? Yes or no? If yes, did you think these things about yourself when you were 5? I highly doubt any of you thought this bad about yourself when you were 5. If you did, I honestly don't think that it was the comings of a mental disorder, as you are born with mental disorders, but you don't typically realize them until you're at least a teenager or as young as 9 like I was. So think about the things you thought in the past. Think about when you were happy. Obviously now you're not so happy that you're wanting to kill yourself. And think about how those times passed. Think about how I was happy and now I'm not. Think about the times in the past when you were younger, when you were sad. I can think of many times when I was young I was sad, when I would call for my mommy and she wouldn't come because she was asleep, or I didn't want to yell and scream my head off so she couldn't even hear me. I got over that. fact, now I think was a lazy little kid for not getting out of bed and going to get her if I really needed her. But these things will pass. And say you felt this way for 5 years now, going on so many years, you just don't see the point anymore. Things take time. Depression is a war with yourself. How long did World War II take? One of the, if not the most horrible war to have ever happened. Killing so many innocent people. In your mind, if you have a mental disorder, you're killing yourself every day. Every day it's like you're dead without actually being dead. But was that war over in 3 years? Was it over in 5 years? No. No, it wasn't. And it wasn't overnight that things finally got better. The people that were still alive after being in the concentration camps, they weren't just let out and had food and they were healthy. There were people that got out of the concentration camps and still died because they weren't healthy enough. It wasn't overnight that things just got better. And you can't expect as a person for things to get better. And I know so many people will disagree with this, with me relating these things. But I've seen so many people that do relate depression to war. And if you're going to do that, then you're contradicting yourself, because war doesn't end overnight. I vaguely believe there was a 6-day war with the Israelites in the Gaza Strip. Yet they're still fighting now. I feel, comparing these, thinking about these, the 6-day war, and then there's another big war, that's relapsing. Relapsing is a part of recovery, and while you feel like you may not want to recover, ask other people. Ask the people that you have in your life that you love. Ask them, do you want me to recover? Blatantly ask them. Go up to them and ask them. That's what it took for me to realize what was actually worth it. Just go up to someone. Go up to a complete stranger and ask them. Chances are this stranger is going to care about you, because as humans, in real life, seeing somebody else face to face, when they say that they feel so bad about themselves that is the only thing they have left to do, you're going to care. People on the internet can put on a mask and they can cover up and they can answer you anonymously. And you don't know who they are. And there's so many reasons why they could be doing these things that you don't understand, but seeing somebody in person, it's like little to none that will actually happen, that somebody will tell you, get a life. You know, there will be somebody that will probably, more than likely, there will be at least one person who is kind of negative. But even then, with a lot of the negative comments I've seen, they're also telling you to get help whether you realize it or not. They're like, go talk to a therapist, you're crazy, or whatever. Yes, there is an insult, but it also comes with that small, very small little bit of help and advice telling you to go see a therapist. Because as humans, it just is our nature to nurture and care. And while I will admit that this is more of a common trait in women, not to be sexist or anything, but it's just kind of common knowledge that women are more nurturing, that's just what we do as humans. We want to care about other people, even though we might hate someone so much because we disagree with how they feel. We would still care about them. All those pictures, that meme, somebody says kill yourself. It's in a joking way. Don't take it so seriously, because they don't mean it. While it is true that you can be fined for just telling someone to do that, and face up to 10 years in prison for if they actually do it, I feel like I'm not blaming the people that say it as much as the people that take it so seriously. This person doesn't know you. If your best friend tells you that, that's a different story. And if your best friend's telling you that, then they're not your best friend. If there are people in your life that are negative, get rid of them. It's not worth it. At the end of the day, it comes down to this. We are born into this world alone. We live alone, we breathe alone, we think alone, we exist alone, and we die alone. So as selfish as it sounds, it's all about yourself. Think about yourself. And I know so many people have told you that you're being selfish by thinking these things, but you're not. Just be selfish. Take a moment to be selfish. And within this selfishness that you're feeling, you'll probably find that at least 3 of maybe 20 things involve other people, even if you're purposely trying to be selfish. I did an exercise with my therapist once, and I was listing off reasons for myself to live. 5 of those included living for different people. So my point is, there always is that nurture and there always is that caring. But relating back to my main topic of suicide as a whole, some people do it because they have never had help. They've never accepted the help, or they did and the help didn't work. It's not like I went to doctor's office, went to the therapist. The first therapist I ever had was just dandy. We're doing fine. I'm perfectly happy now. Rainbows and flowers and glitter. No. First few therapists I saw were actually pretty bad and made me feel really upset and really, really bad about myself. Don't give up hope. Hold on. Pain ends. Not today. Not tomorrow. Maybe not even next year. But soon it will, and you will be so thankful that you are still alive. You may not believe me, but you will. You will be thankful. Be thankful that if you have tried to commit suicide, that you're alive, that you're here. Be thankful that if you're not in the situation where you could walk outside and die, be thankful for that. Find something to be thankful for. I don't care if it's not Thanksgiving. Find something to be thankful for. Be thankful for it. Be selfish. Be giving. Be responsible and just live. Find something that makes you smile. I know it's hard. Trust me, I know it's very, very hard. Just do it. Just live. Anyways, I love you guys, and thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that this was helpful.